everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Ever wonder, how much power one choice can have? Today we're diving into a story all about that. Ray Bradbury's classic, A Sound of Thunder. It's about time travel, dinosaurs, and the butterfly effect. All those big ideas wrapped up in one intense story.
It really makes you think twice about those what if I did things differently moments?
Absolutely. So Bradbury throws us into the future, 2055 to be exact, time travel. Totally a thing. But you gotta have some serious cash for it.
Like imagine luxury safari prices, but to go back and see a T-Rex in person?
Exactly. And that's where we meet Eckels, our main guy. He's like the ultimate big game hunter, totally obsessed with bagging a T-Rex. But before Time Safari Inc. sends him back to the Jurassic period, they're like, hold up, there's some serious rules. Like, stay on the path, don't even think about stepping off, oh, and only shoot the dinosaur we mark. It's all very strict.
You can practically feel the tension when they're explaining those rules. Like, this is not a suggestion, people. Bradbury really knows how to build suspense even before they go back in time.
Right. Even that description of the Time Safari Inc. office is kind of creepy. All those strange machines and that weird atmosphere. It's like Bradbury's whispering to the reader, be careful what you wish for.
It's like that feeling you get walking into a silent forest. You know there's a whole world happening around you, but it's so still it makes you hold your breath. That's Bradbury for you. He was a master of foreshadowing, dropping these little hints of danger. And the really wild part is he wrote this back in the 1950s, during the Cold War, when everyone was scared of new technology. That,
Right.
what if we go too far? Feeling really comes through, and it's still so relatable today.
Totally. It's like he's holding up a mirror to our own anxieties about how fast things are changing and all the ways things could go wrong. That's what makes this story so powerful, even all these years later.
And that's where we start to see the real brilliance of A Sound of Thunder. It's not just a cool story about dinosaurs. It's about something much bigger. It makes you think about humanity's place in the universe and how our desire to control everything, to be on top, might be what leads us into danger.
And then boom, just like that, they're in the time of the dinosaurs. And Bradbury doesn't hold back. He drops you right into the middle of this prehistoric jungle. You can practically feel the heat and humidity, smell the weird plants.
Oh, absolutely. The air is thick and steamy. The ferns are gigantic. Everything is just massive. You totally forget you're reading a story. He makes it feel like you're really there, millions of years in the past.
Totally. It's like a sensory overload in the best way possible. But let's get back to Eckels, our fearless hunter. He was so pumped about getting his T-Rex, remember? Well, that confidence kind of goes out the window when he comes face to face with the real thing.
Right. It's one thing to talk a big game, but to actually stand there with this prehistoric monster towering over you, those teeth bigger than your arm.
Talk about a reality check. It's like you think you can handle the wilderness because you've been on a nature walk, and then bam, you turn a corner and there's a grizzly bear. And this T-Rex, it's not just some scary monster. It's like a symbol of how powerful nature really is. Compared to that, what's a human with a fancy rifle?
Exactly. It's like Bradbury saying, hey, humans, remember, nature was here first, and it's not here to be controlled. And that's actually a really important theme in A Sound of Thunder. It's not just a dinosaur story. It's about how we treat the environment.
Oh, I see that. Eckels wants to conquer nature, to dominate it, and that's something humans have been trying to do forever. But Bradbury is reminding us that there are always consequences. You can't just take and take without expecting things to change.
And that message is so relevant today, even more than when Bradbury wrote the story. Just think about everything happening now. Climate change, pollution, habitat destruction. It's all about humans wanting to control nature.
It's like he's trying to get us to see the bigger picture. We're all connected to nature, and maybe we need to act with a little more humility and respect.
Exactly. We should be able to appreciate how awesome and powerful nature is without trying to control it all the time. And it's interesting, this theme of respecting nature comes up a lot in Bradbury's other stories too. But speaking of things that make you think, let's talk about what happens during the hunt, because that's where Eckels' need for control really backfires.
Okay, so they're in the thick of it, right? The tension is almost too much to handle as they stalk this T-Rex through this prehistoric jungle. And then at the worst possible moment, Eckels freaks out. He steps off the path.
Just one footprint in the mud, but it's like Bradbury is hitting us over the head with a giant sign that says, this changes everything.
It's like that saying, a butterfly flaps its wings and causes a hurricane on the other side of the world. Only in this case, it's a dude stepping on some prehistoric ferns.
And the crazy part is, the changes aren't some huge, obvious things when they get back to 2055. It's more like this subtle wrongness.
Yeah.
Bradbury even talks about a weird smell in the air, like it's something familiar but just a little off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like stepping back into a dream after you've woken up. Something feels off, but you can't put your finger on it.
And then there's that sign on the Time Safari Inc. office wall.
Oh, man, that sign. Chill.
It just says Time Safari Inc. Just one letter, but it's like Bradbury is screaming at you. Everything is different now. It's brilliant and terrifying all at the same time.
It really makes you think about all those what-if moments in your own life, doesn't it? And the fact that Bradbury doesn't tell us exactly how 2055 is different, genius.
Totally. It's up to us to imagine how one little change could snowball into something huge. It's like he's saying that our actions have these ripple effects we can't even begin to grasp. A sound of thunder is really what put the whole butterfly effect idea on the map. Before this story, not many people were talking about that kind of thing.
And now you can't get away from it. It's everywhere. But that's the power of a great story, I guess. It makes you think about things in a whole new way. Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into Ray Bradbury's classic, A Sound of Thunder. It's been an amazing journey through time travel, dinosaurs, and the ripple effects of our choices. It really makes you think twice about every decision you make, right?
Absolutely. Just remember, everyone, even the smallest actions can have huge consequences. So tread carefully and choose wisely.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of sci-fi and beyond.